Good evening. This is Maestro with the Dawn of War 2 Retribution Elite modcast. Today, we have a 1v1 on Fedrid Folly. Our first player is going to be LOCALgHOST, someone who I've been definitely seeing around a lot lately. And he is going to be playing as the Space Marine Apothecary. This is a ranged commander. Just kidding. This is a healing commander who can get a ranged weapon later on, so I wasn't entirely wrong. He can also get a area of effect heal over time. His opponent, oh man, is going to be Anal Tweet. Yes, I said it loud, I said it proud, and I'll probably say it like that again later on. And he's going to be playing as the Warboss. This is a tanky melee hero who can walk through cover, can be very aggressive with charging, and very tanky through health regeneration. Alright then, so we got a nice 1v1 ahead of us. It's been a little while since I did one of these, not too long. Anyway, Warboss going to start peppering down the scouts. Warboss doesn't do too bad of range damage, as we can see, taking down the health of those scouts by about 10%. Scouts will turn and fire on him, since the Warboss should never really fully catch the scouts. This is an interesting position. It looked like they were going to try to shoot over the edge, but they found out that they didn't have the range to do that. Maybe if they did have big shooters, it would have been a different story. But instead, they're just going to go for a full-on flank. And they will win this. And that will just be an immediate retreat from the scouts. Right before, pretty close, actually did not lose a model. And pretty good retreat timing for that. So now he's going to work on bashing this generator. While the Warboss is mainly used as a capping unit at the moment. And I have seen that many times in the past, where watching Orc players and see the Warboss sometimes actually kind of be relegated to capping duties. Slug is going to be coming out here. Upgrading to Burna is very interesting to see that right now at this moment. I guess it just makes me think that he really intends to push the advantage or really focus on generator bashing even more. Just because in this particular situation, it doesn't really seem like a time when he's really going to need those Burnas. If anything, I almost feel like maybe upgrading to big shooters a little bit earlier instead of those Burnas might have been a better choice. So map control at the moment is a bit more in favor of LOCALgHOST. LOCALgHOST, since he's definitely focusing more on the map control with the use of those scouts. He has been engaging less, and Anal Tweet has been focusing more just on that control of the right side of the map. Now, if there is an advantage that Anal Tweet does have, it is in the power income, since he did bash LOCALgHOST power node, and then he actually got a full decap on it. These are tactical marines in cover, but they are going to... Oh, I thought they were going to be flanked by the sluggers, but instead, sluggers go for the Apothecary. Ooh, is that Apothecary going to go down and retreat? I feel like it is so close, and I think it can still happen if he just focuses on it with the shooter boys. He's not going to get the Apothecary, I don't think, at this point. It seemed to me like those shooters were focusing on the tactical marines. I really feel like if they had been focusing entirely on the Apothecary, they could have taken him down. So meanwhile, we do see an upgrade on our Apothecary. That is going to be the Purification Rites. And Purification Rites is an interesting one. I actually personally like this war gear very much, but it's been a long time since I've seen someone actually pick it in a game. And what that does is, it actually does knockback around the target that gets healed. And we did see that used earlier by the Apothecary against the Slugger Boys. It is something in particular that could be used well against the Slugger Boys, since they don't have a huge amount of health. Once they get knocked down, if they take a little bit of focus fire, it usually means that they're about ready to retreat, or else they'll start taking quite a few model losses. Meanwhile, man, LOCALgHOST, oh, I see. He really delayed getting new power on this power node, but I think he's going to be keeping up because he did get power. He actually put a power farm on the contested power node. Now, the only problem with that is that at some point he does have to worry about that potentially being recaptured or even fully destroyed, more so than his natural power farm. But I think probably what's just going on is, at the moment, I'm not even sure if Anal Tweet has discovered that power farm over on this side, because he's really just been focusing his map control efforts on the right side of the map. So much so that even though I feel like Anal Tweet has been winning most of the engagements, he's losing the game at the moment because he's not winning on map control. He does have a disadvantage in victory points. Meanwhile, I did talk about War Gears on the Apothecary. Now we also have that customized Stormbolter, which I feel is very much the correct choice in this matchup. Will give the Apothecary some ability to control the Warboss as well as this new Pain Boy. And on the Orc side, Warboss has been upgraded with the Angry Bits. And I do see that a lot. It would be funny to call it Angry Butts for someone who goes by Anal Tweet. But anyway, Angry Bits. I do see this war gear a lot. I do think it's a great war gear. In fact, very few commanders have a gap closing ability that actually covers that much distance. And I think one of the main reasons that is that most other commanders that do have a gap closing ability are not a melee tank. This also doubles as a disruptive ability, as we see him continually knocking down the scouts as well as those tactical marines. I'm feeling like this is going to be actually, I don't know. This is a tough engagement to call. If anything, the Warboss is in a bit of trouble. He's going to go down, I think. It's close. And he's actually not going to go down. I was wrong. Unless the Assault Marines... No, I was going to say, unless they try to jump in after him. And instead, it's the Apothecary who goes down. So, Warboss also upgraded with that Bang Bang Hammer, which, I mean, if you think about it, actually, just the raw damage of that, it's a very powerful weapon. Sometimes this weapon is ignored in favor of his Power Claw. But the Bang Bang Hammer, I mean, again, the raw damage of this weapon is very good. And then we also have the way that it actually helps to buff infantry, increasing damage and even their speed. And LOCALgHOST just cannot have a natural power farm. But at the same time, I think he's really, really lucky to keep this this contested power farm. And at this point, I'm going to say that Anal Tweet has probably not even discovered this. It's hard to tell, but Anal Tweet just keeps on going, decapping this, when LOCALgHOST is never really even bothering to note it up anymore. So it seems like LOCALgHOST really just committed to keeping this natural power farm, not worried about this because he's worried about that generator bash from the Orcs. So the Apothecary has been revived. And, yeah, the Assault Marines, I think they really just needed to get out of there. Between the damage they're taking from the Shooter Boys and then the swings from that Bang Bang Hammer, it was just going to be too much. They've already lost one model. They're going to lose a second. I don't know about that jump. You know, Pain Boy in a little bit of trouble is going to get out of there with about 25% of his hit points. A little less, actually, closer to 20. And LOCALgHOST doesn't even have his natural power still. LOCALgHOST, meanwhile, with a huge Tier 1. Huge. He's got Apothecary upgrades. He does have the standard Scout, Tac, Scout, and then the double Assault Marines is not typical at all, and especially because it is so expensive. Oh, there's yet another War Gear upgrade on that Warboss, but this one did miss entirely. Ooh, but there's a squad wipe. So Anal Tweet in Tier 2, but look at the map control. The map is painted blue, and any part that is not blue is going to become blue very soon, with Anal Tweet having trouble keeping control of the map. There's another example of that Purification Rites cast, nullifying a lot of the value that those sluggers can get by trying to swarm around the Apothecary. You know, I see the Warboss. I wonder if he can get another kill and retreat. At this point, I don't even think he's going to get another swing, so probably not.
The enemy has 300 points remaining.
Alright, they are able to take down the node, which didn't have many hit points, trying for the decap, but this is going to be rough. And the Apothecary, that's kind of funny, the way he's casting that ability at this moment. But that customized Stormbolter does come with the full auto ability. Stuns enemies. At some point it was changed. In the past it used to actually cause knockdown, but it stuns enemies, particularly useful against single entities like that Pain Boy and of course the Warboss, and I think it's just very important for controlling the Warboss. And now maybe he did discover this contested power farm, because we see this Death Dread walking in that direction, already getting Burnas, and it's probably walking over here to take care of this power farm once and for all. So Local Ghost is now in Tier 2. So he can respond to this Death Dread, but I don't think he actually knows that it exists yet, so that's why we're not really seeing any upgrades yet to deal with it. He's a little low on power too. Alright, now he knows, because it's actually destroying the generator, so we will see the missile tack get upgraded. And we do see that missile launcher is very expensive, and I think that is one of the reasons why. The tactical marine missile launcher is something that is not actually really considered that great. It's more good for the convenience of it, rather than for how good the weapon is in itself. Warboss is charging in here. Now he's tanking a lot despite having seemingly no hit points, but now I think he does go down. I think Pain Boy did give him a heal, but that was a grenade in retreat. And the Death Dread flanking just makes that a full retreat. He did get Assault Marine Sergeants on both of them, actually. I'm not sure if those Assault Marine Sergeants came in before... They might have come in, like, before he saw the Death Dread, because if he had seen the Death Dread, I would have prioritized getting at least one Melt-A-Bomb rather than getting Assault Marine Sergeants. So Local Ghost now trying to have a natural power farm, and actually he can defend this at the moment since most of Anal Tweet's forces are on this side of the map, and for the first time, Anal Tweet will really take control of the map based on the strength of this Death Dread and his tech lead. But what is Local Ghost going to do? He will undoubtedly take control back of this side of the map. Shooter Boys do not stand a chance, and they're already moving out. So Assault Marines might get the caps. Shooter Boys... Yeah, they can't deal with the Assault Marines at all, and it's just going to be an instant retreat. Grenade attempt on retreat? No grenade attempt. Instead, because he wants to prioritize the scouts capping, which I do actually would say that probably is the better choice, given that Local Ghost has a triple cap against him. Missile Tactical Marine is here. Unfortunately, Missile Tactical Marine is going to get tied up by the Warboss and by the Slugger Boys, and that does leave Local Ghost in a position where I don't think he's really going to be able to fight the Death Dread. He let them get a little too close. Assault Marine Squad is removed from the equation. Melt-A-Bomb does go in, but then it's just a full retreat. What happened? It's weird. Actually, I feel like he did not need to full retreat there. I felt he was finally getting into a position where he could actually continue that engagement. He actually used the Melt-A-Bomb on the Death Dread, and that was slowing it down. He had the Assault Marines there to support. So that does mean that Anal Tweet retains control of the map for the moment. And of course, you know what's coming next. That Orky Power Bash, Burnas on both the Sluggers and the Death Dread. Local Ghost is going to have to move out fast if he wants to do anything about this. Tactical Marines need to stay back, but they're going to have to be worried about getting tied up by the Warboss, who might eventually charge in. We're going to want to see full auto on the Warboss to slow him down. Melt-A-Bomb is in. There's the Now I'm Angry, and we do see both the full auto. That's going to be the retreat on the Warboss. Oh, and of course he recognized the Devastator Marines as well. This is actually going to be a dead Death Dread. Yeah, it's happening slowly but surely. Okay, that was actually very well managed by Local Ghost. Somewhere he did lose a scout squad, and it was right here. So he was focused on this engagement, dropped his micro on this side of the map, and lost a scout squad. I mean, all things considered, if I want to talk about trading a Death Dread for a scout squad, I'm actually not 100% sure if that's worth it, because you have to factor in multiple upgrades, or at least a sergeant upgrade on the scouts. And then I think another big thing that's kind of difficult to replace is whatever experience those scouts might have had. Although it looks like this one is only level 1, so I'm not sure if the other one had that much more health. And oh no, dead Shooter Boys as well. Anal Tweet talking about dropping his micro. It happened to Anal Tweet. I guess he's focusing on this engagement where we are going to see Tactical Marines go down. Could be the Apothecary as well. Oh my god. Apothecary dying to that sync kill from that Slugga. Slugga Knob even, I believe. But Anal Tweet now has no army. He's moving to tier 3. Devastator Marines, you know, in that position, they will be able to stop this approach. Since they back off, he actually activates Vengeance Rounds. Now, Vengeance Rounds do cause the squad to not suppress any longer. Vengeance Rounds should now be on cooldown. Oh, no, just kidding. So Sluggas will actually be able to just... No, I thought they were going to be able to charge in. But then finally the Vengeance Rounds wore off. But actually, it looks like they will get into melee. Man, he's really sacrificing the lives of those Sluggas. And once the Sluggas get into melee, despite having so little hit points, they will handily win over the Devastator Marines. We see the massive amount of damage that they do. Devastator Marines are actually notoriously vulnerable to melee squads because of the fact that they do have power armor, and there are a lot of melee squads that have power melee, including these Sluggas. They have those. They do have a bit of power melee on those burners. They also just do a huge amount of base DPS. Scouts will recapture the contested victory point. And it will be the start of a power bash with these double Assault Marines. So many squads have actually been lost at the moment, but oh man, this is Anal Tweet in Tier 3 with a squad of knobs queued up. All things considered, I actually feel that at the moment, LOCALgHOST actually has quite a few decent answers to the knobs. Both Assault Marines have a Sergeant, which means they will have Merciless Strike. We're going to need to see Merciless Strike. We're going to need to see a heal. We also have, once again, that Purification Rites heal. And then there's the Angels of Death. Here come the knobs now. Here come the knobs now, rather. Now, although I feel like LOCALgHOST has some answers to the knobs, he's now going to end up fighting them right after he just had to fight a bunch of Sluggas. And this, oh man, this Assault Marine getting out of there with one model actually lost the Sergeant, accidentally going back in because of dropped micro. Apothecary is in a rough position right now. Look at the chunks taken out of his health by those knobs in retreat. If the Pain Boy turns, can he? I was gonna say, can he actually take out the Apothecary? Now, the Apothecary has been upgraded with the armor of the Apothecarian. This is the ability that gives him an area of effect, heal over time. Can be very, very, very powerful. The only thing that's tough about this is that I believe it is a channeled ability, and it uses energy over time, so it doesn't really synergize with the Purification Rites. And especially because the area of effect heal over time doesn't get the Purification Rites proc. You only get that from the single target baseline heal that the Apothecary has. So we might see a switch to the advanced medical equipment to better fuel the energy for the advanced healing. Oh my god, Slugga Boy is just toughing it out with the use of Ard Boys to just actually go straight up forward into some Devastator Marines, even in spite of their suppression. So Assault Marines will jump in, not even finishing the cap, instead deciding to finish the cap with the Devastator Marines. And finally, we are also going to see a shotgun upgrade on the Scouts. Very late shotgun upgrade. Decided not to get the shotguns until later on, until he really had to deal with the knobs. This is also the point of the game when actually it would have been really nice to keep that second squad of Scouts alive to help deal with the knobs. It's something that actually would have been very helpful, just keeping the knobs on their asses once they get knocked down. One model is stunned. There is the Merciless Strike, but not enough damage is going in on the knobs. So he has a lot of control, but if he doesn't have enough damage to go in on the knobs, at some point they are just going to get up and start... Yeah, I mean, there's almost no damage being put on the knobs, and it's ultimately, after LOCALgHOST cooldowns are all forced out, then they just have to do a full retreat. So his next answer is a Dreadnought, and the Dreadnought, In some senses, I do like this. It does provide some of that damage that Local Ghost needs, and it does also provide even more control. But at the same time, once the slam is on cooldown, then the Dreadnought becomes extraordinarily vulnerable to the knobs. Oh my god, and Flash gets coming out as well. They're going to rip apart these devastated Marines. In fact, they're probably just going to rip apart anything. Local Ghost coming out on the field without even full health. Assault Marines will jump in on the Flash Kits. Both squads will jump in on the Flash Kits. Their slam is out and upgrading to Dark Age of Technology because he is in Tier 3. Dreadnought will start punching start punching the knobs, but the knobs activate meaner and greener. I think the Assault Marines straight up need to disengage. They're not going to gain much here. They don't have a Merciless Strike cast. He decides to just go for a heal to keep them out on the field. Assault Marines jumping in. Again, they have so few hit points, though. I don't think they have enough for a Merciless Strike. Got to be real careful there. Jumping into knobs. It does get the knockdown. Now, Local Ghost has plenty of control for these Dreadnoughts, but what is he going to do about damage? At this point, it might be worth it to get a new squad of Tactical Marines and upgrade them with the Plasma Gun. I actually feel that would be the single best thing that he could purchase at the moment. I would say the next best thing would be a Predator. And he does go for the Predator instead. Predator, more versatile. Going to be stronger against everything else. Oh no! So here we're talking. Here's how the Dreadnought can be in so much trouble. Okay, repairs are going to go in, but the knobs are still in trouble. Purification rights probably not ready for use. Warboss actually knocking over his own knobs. Dreadnought's still in trouble. Heals are not happening on the Dreadnought. Painboy meanwhile goes down. Dreadnought, I think the Dreadnought doesn't go down. Angel of Death does not help the Dreadnought. Assault Marine's dead. One squad of Assault Marines dead. And the repairs coming in, as well as just whatever disruption he has. It's crazily keeping this Dreadnought, but I think it's finally going to go down, and it does. Okay. Double Flash Kits are out on the field. This one's still just with... I'm just going to call them shooters for now, even though I think there's an even better name for them. Ooh, is this going to be Terminators? No. Now's the squad of Tactical Marines. I feel that it should have come out earlier. In fact, I don't... Oh, man, actually, now that he actually put the drop pod down here, if he had actually used a drop pod in this engagement, I think it would have been fantastic. Because he would have had the Tactical Marines, could have tried to upgrade them to a plasma gun out on the field, and I think that could have pressured the knobs a lot more to the point where he might have been able to keep the Dreadnought alive. In fact, I actually feel pretty confident that he would have been able to keep the Dreadnought alive if he did have the extra DPS coming out of a Plasma Attack Squad. Predator going to be upgraded with extra armor. Apothecary under fire. Needs to be careful here. Does decide to heal himself. And now we have that Plasma Attack. I feel this Plasma Attack is honestly very late. Assault Marine's going to jump in. They're going to need to be careful. Apothecary is not in range to heal them. Instead, he's using the advanced healing on the Tactical Marines. Once the Assault Marines move in here, they will start benefiting from it as well. But advanced healing is deactivated. He is low on energy. And there we do see, okay, not advanced medical equipment, improved medical equipment. Because he is recognizing now that he kind of needs that improved medical equipment to get the full value out of the advanced healing. Those purification rights, as much as they do provide an extra source of control against the knobs, they just don't really synergize with the advanced healing. So map control is now about to be taken in favor of LOCALgHOST. Going to be painted blue. Advanced healing used to heal up the tactical marines. Decides to actually cancel it and just use the targeted heal to finish healing the tactical marines. So a ton of on-the-field sustain for the Apothecary, something that is very unique to him. There are a few other healers who do have healing abilities, but I don't feel that any of them are quite as... I don't feel that any of them provide the level of sustain that the Apothecary does. So, victory points are even, but it's a triple cap. We are going to see a decap on this side, back cap by the slug as well. Engagement happens here. Knobs will go in. I feel that's a little bit of redundancy with both the meaner and greener as well as the Yard Boys. Kind of want to layer that so that you're getting full value out of both. Assault Marines jumping in, but the Warboss is going to use his big stomp. Assault Marines now jump out, and they're actually stunned through their jump. The Predator, I think, is going to go down here. It's so close. 12 hit points. Knobs just need to swing at it one more time. They're not able to wind up their hammer, and finally it goes down. The Warboss is still in here, but soon we're going to need to start seeing a cap by Anal Tweet. He has an overall army advantage, but he needs a unit on that point. He finally recognized it, and he's going to start putting the flash gets, but I think they got knocked down, maybe by the shotgun blast, and LOCALgHOST is actually buying so much time, he might actually just win the game off of this right here. It's so close. Assault Marines going to start cutting apart those flash kits. Angels of Death is active to help secure it. Anal Tweet still not able to get it. These flash kits are dead. No, just kidding. There is one model left alive. I totally missed it.
We shall make it so.
And they just barely get it. They get the decap. They're not going to stick around. Actually, they are going to stick around. I thought he was going to try to retreat immediately, but instead there's a kill on the Assault Marines. And this is not good for LOCALgHOST. It seemed like LOCALgHOST kind of went all in on winning the game right then and there, which unfortunately means that at this point, I don't know if he will be able to actually take it back, because this will be victory point captured by Anal Tweet. The Dreadnought scares off the Slugger Boys on this map, but the Dreadnought has one critical weakness, which is that, like a Baneblade, it can't cap. Okay, but Scouts can, and they will be over here. But it's going to be Anal Tweet taking both victory points on this side, and with his army being, well, I was going to say so much bigger, maybe not that much bigger, he is going to be able to control the map better at this moment. And LOCALgHOST, ooh, I mean, he's getting a second Dreadnought, and that's something that is going to be very difficult for Anal Tweet to fight, but Anal Tweet might also just be able to run around it and capture the map to finish off the game.
Deploying war gear.
Here is something coming, probably Tactical Marines, and the Warboss still has that Bang Bang Hammer. He might want to switch to the Power Claw. Oh man, look at that. Just using the Now I'm Angry ability to delay further. Tactical Marines not going to be able to get the decap here. It's a 1-to-1 game, so at this point, LOCALgHOST mostly just wants to go for keeping them off the capture point, but I don't think he's going to get there in time. Like, he needs to put some pressure on the Warboss now. The Warboss is more than half of his hit points. I think this is game. And I think I also just got the sound bug. Which hopefully, normally at some point the game will crash when you have the sound bug. However, I think this game will end soon enough that that won't be an issue. I am going to choose not to recast the entire game in spite of having this sound bug. And the Apothecary, oh, he's going to try to finish it, but there's no way. There's no way. This is definitely the win in favor of Anal Tweet. Or is it? Just kidding! Backcapping Scouts. They want this game to crash. Now, I would say... Oh man, the Apothecary is going to move back in here. He's going to get a decap. Oh no, are you kidding me? I'm just kidding. Wow, LOCALgHOST does take this in the end. I can't believe that. Oh, I was wrong. I called it too early. I thought that was anal tweet there with that going to be that 7-0 at the end, but instead it is LOCALgHOST taking this game. That is a crazy ending to this 1v1 game. Very well played. I hope you enjoyed it, and have a good night.